welcome back to Hey everybody, welcome back to Beach Bum Bookworm. I am Tiffany. I'm so glad y'all found me again today. As you can see, sometimes I can talk, sometimes I can't. I'm so glad to see you. Today I'm going to be doing my February Cozy Mystery Wrap-Up. Now this will have Cozy Mysteries and any YA youth nostalgia books I read for the month, and then I'll have a separate one for romance. So let's get right to it. We're talking about all of the February Cozy Mysteries and whatnots that I read. In 3, 2, 1, go! As always, don't forget to hit the like, subscription, notification bell. All three of those things help us out tremendously. It costs nothing. Support is absolutely free. I can't thank you enough because I'm having the time of my life. I just hope you guys know that I'm so grateful for you. Okay, the first book is, I read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory right here. This is by Roald Dahl, and I don't know that this held up. I love the concept of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I love the movie, the original with Gene Wilder. Yeah, that's where it's at. I do want to know, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Gene Wilder, the correct answer? Or do you prefer Johnny Depp, Willy Wonka, the wrong answer? Let me know in the comments below. Just kidding. But let me know which one that you prefer. You know, I just don't know that it held up. I understand it's a product of its time. But there was a lot of, I think it's a fun concept. I still really enjoyed it. It very much brought the nostalgia feelings for me. This was a movie, the Gene Wilder movie, that I watched with my father countless times. I think that the movie is magical, but again, you know, it was a product of its time. So I'm sure you guys know, but Charlie Bucket is a boy who lives with his mom and grandparents and father, and they live in like a 1-bedroom house. They're very much struggling to get by and just have enough food. And Willy Wonka owns a chocolate factory in town, and it's very mysterious. And he says that he's going to do this promotional deal where 5 people who get a golden ticket, which will be found in the Willy Wonka bars, will get to come to his factory and take a tour and get chocolate for life. And so it progresses from there. And each child has uniqueness to them and flaws to them that end up getting the golden ticket. And it's about their experience touring the factory. It brought back a lot of nostalgia feelings. Enjoyed it overall. So next up, I read Death in 4 Courses. This is the second book in the Key West Food Critic Cozy Mystery Series by Lucy Burdette. And man, is Key West a fun place for a cozy. So our gal, Haley, that she is a new to the scene food critic. She writes for a Key West foodie magazine. And there's going to be a conference of restaurant critics and food writers. And this superstar in the realm is coming. And he just wrote a tell-all book. And he might have told all. You know what I'm saying? So some feathers were ruffled. Yeah, you get it. And he ends up dead. And of course, Haley is like on the case. And it just, wowzers. It's just such a fun location for a cozy. Great for a summertime beachy read. Really enjoyed it. I gave it 3 cups of coffee, I believe. We'll definitely read the next one. Next up, I read Death by Coffee. This is the first book in the Bookstore Cafe Cozy Mystery Series by Alex Erickson. I really liked it. I gave it like 3.5 cups of coffee. I'll continue it. So this features Chrissy and her best friend Vicky, and they open up a coffee/bookstore. Amazing, right? Yeah. As book lovers, we get it. Okay, so on the first day that it opens, this guy comes in. He's being like hoity-toity and kind of, you know, you get the gist. And his coffee had nuts in it. nut flavored, something like that, and he is allergic to nuts. Don't know how he got in there, but also his emergency like EpiPen is nowhere to be found. So clearly it doesn't look like an accident at this point. And of course, everybody thinks that it was the two new people, Chrissy and Vicky, who just opened their shop. That doesn't look well for first day of business, right? So Chrissy is a fan of solving things anyways, and so she kind of inserts herself, as they usually do in Cozy Mysteries. I thought it was fun overall and a great, like, who doesn't want a bookstore coffee shop? I enjoyed it. I will read number 2. Next up, I read Deck the Donuts. This is the 6th book in the Deputy Donut series by Ginger Bolton. I loved it. I gave it 4.5 cups of coffee. It's a winter-themed cozy. Y'all know that I love when our cozies are in the winter and there's snow involved. Oh, yes. That's the only way I want to experience winter is in my book. And, I enjoyed it. Okay, so this series features our main gal, Emily. And Emily was married to a police officer who was killed in the line of duty. At that point, she was a 911 operator. She decided she needed to step back from all of that. And she opens a donut shop with her father-in-law. And in this one, there was so much festiveness, y'all. So it's Christmas time. Deck the donuts, of course. Okay. And there is going to be a ice and lights festival. And our gal Emily, I thought this was so cute. She commissioned for a ice sculpture to be made that was called Frosty the Donut. So it was going to be 3 donut holes that make a snowman. I think that's so cute. Okay. I absolutely loved it. And I love her in-laws. I think that they have such a great relationship. And there is a tour bus that's coming for the Ice and Lights Festival. And the tour bus driver wrecks, and there's suspicion that he might have been drinking. He's got a load of people and children. Doesn't look good. Well, he goes to the hospital. I think he hit his head on the steering wheel or something like that. So he goes to the hospital. The town of Fallingbrook, Wisconsin, great place for a cozy, houses all of these people because they weren't meant to like be stranded, but because of this accident. So the town comes together, they house all these people, and the driver of the bus goes to the hospital, and by morning, the driver of the bus is dead. So, of course, Emily and her detective are going to figure out what's going on. And it was so much fun. I love a winter-themed cozy, and add Christmas to it. Amazing. So good. Next up, I read A Victim at Valentines. This is the 5th book in the Secret Bookcase Cozy Mystery series by Ellie Alexander. I gave it 5 cups of coffee. I've given every book in this series 5 cups of coffee. I think number 3 is my favorite because of the theme. It was a dinner murder mystery, and that's just right up my alley. This one was so much fun too. So it's Valentine's Day, of course, and they're going to do a Valentine's theme event at the shop at the bookstore where Annie works, and somebody suggests this matchmaking service that can do an event for that night. And one of the investors of the matchmaking service and someone who Annie knows ends up dead at the shop. And so Annie's going to figure out what's going on. Mixed in with, if you don't know the background to this series, Annie was in college, and her and her best friend Scarlett they were graduating. They were going to open up this private investigation firm together, and Scarlett is murdered. And so there is an overarching mystery of what happened to Scarlett. And we are getting closer to the end of that. And it is so good. I have to know what happens. I'm so excited for it. So with all that's happened, Annie has never been able to get closure from Scarlett's death because people don't know what happened. But also she took a step back from anything to do with criminal justice and has been working for our benefit at this amazing Agatha Christie bookstore. Well, she is still very much involved in trying to put the pieces together. And that's where I'm saying we are starting to get more and more. And I feel like Annie is so close. I cannot wait. This was so much fun. I'm so excited for the next book. Next up, I read Dying for Wine. This is the 2nd book in the Tucson Valley Retirement Community Cozy Mystery series. This is by Marcy Blesy. I loved this. This series is so much fun. I can't wait to get to the 3rd one. So in this one, there is going to be a bye-bye birdie party. it's a send-off for snowbirds. I don't know if she doesn't call it that, but I live in Florida and I live in communities where they have Bye Bye Birdie Party. So it's like a sending off the snowbirds back to North. And I think that's funny. And in this case, they're going to have this big concert. And there's a lot of drama with putting on the concert. A lot of the people in the community want to do this. They want this, I should do this. You know the politics of living in an HOA, I'm sure. Okay, so one of the people in the community ends up dead. And of course, Rosie, who is actual name is all four names of the Golden Girls smushed together. And that is what brought me to this series. I love Golden Girls is my all-time favorite show, but also I'm loving the retirement community. Her parents are a hoot. All of her parents' friends. I think she's gotten to the point where Rosie's like, you know how when you're younger and your parents are like, pick your friends and shows me who you are. Well, now Rosie's kind of switched and she's like, are these the people that you're hanging out with, Mom and Dad? And it's just like you can see this like evolution and cycle of life. And I really, really, really enjoy it. I really like her love interest, Keaton. That seems to be heating up. And this one was so much fun. And it was the end of like winter because the birdies are going back. So it's kind of like right on the cusp of spring. And I really enjoyed it. Next up, I'm just going to say it now. This was my favorite of the month. It was my favorite book of the month. It is Snow Time to Die. This is the third book in the Northwoods Cozy Mystery series by Annie McEwen. I think I gave this 6 cups of coffee. I love this series anyways, but a closed circle winter cozy. Yes. Thank you so much. I loved it so much. So our gal, Emmy, she in the first book has come back to Cooper's Cove, which is in Northwoods, Wisconsin, to, some stuff had happened with her job and whatnot. She'd been let go from her job, but her family owns this little resort with cabins. And oh my gosh, I love this whole Cooper's Cove resort. And her parents are some of my favorite in cozy mysteries. Their relationship, their dynamic, and even with her brother. I love her love interest and her friends. So these are friends that she's known since early on. And I love their dynamic because I feel like it's so relatable. Like when she came back, they hadn't seen each other in a while, but they fall back in line like they hadn't, missed a beat. And I love that so much. She will call them Marcus with the mullet and Whitney. She will call them, they're just two of my favorite friends in cozies. I can't say enough about this series. The dogs in it are hysterical. We have a new addition to us. It was so good. And in this one, we get vindication, y'all. We get vindication because our gal, I can't remember her name. Let me see if I wrote it down. We don't even need to know Gwenda, our gal Gwenda, who, if you've been reading the first two, you know who Gwenda is. She comes to Cooper's Cove. She's actually supposed to be at another place, but because of the blizzard, they've had to rehouse them and she's there. And she brings, of course, a lot of drama. And I loved that they were all snowed in. They played games. They had hot chocolate, and the coziness of this was so good. I mean, yeah, there's a murder, but let's just say it was fine. I loved it so, so much. 6 cups of coffee. I can't wait for the next one. Oh, a close circle winter cozy. Mwah, so good. Next up and last, I read A Body in 3B. This is the first book in the Murder at the Morrisey Cozy Mystery series. This is by Eryn Scott. I recently interviewed Eryn Scott. I really enjoyed this. I gave it 3 cups of coffee. I will definitely continue. This was on my 25 to start in 2025. This is like an Only Murders in the Building meets cozy mystery, which I feel like that's pretty cozy mystery-esque too. But anyways, in book form, let's say that. So this takes place at a Seattle apartment building, which was really fun because I felt like the building felt like a community in itself. And our main gal, what is our main gal's name? Meg. And Meg has just moved back to the Morrisey, and she goes to like a building meeting, and this lady, the president, I guess, she wants everybody's signatures to purchase, I think it was like a fire pit or something that she wanted to do to upgrade the building. And so she needs signatures from all the people in the apartment building. Well, there is a recluse that lives in this building. And through the process of trying to get his signature, they find him dead. And Meg's best friend in this is named Ripley. And Ripley is a ghost that she has been friends with forever. But we also meet a new ghost along the way that can't remember much, but is very significant. And we also meet Lawrence, who lives in the building and who Meg has had a crush on. And I loved their dynamic. I feel like I know where this is going, but I've been wrong before. So I'm not gonna jump too far into it, but I love Lori. I thought this was so much fun. Just the idea of, instead of a town feeling like a community, the apartment building, I loved that. Can't wait to see where it goes from here. All right, everybody. So that was my last book for the month. What was your favorite cozy mystery of the month for February, or your favorite read? Let me know in the comments below. I already told you mine. It was Snow Time to Die. Oh my goodness. All of these have been fantastic. And only thing left to say is, may all your future reads be 5 stars. Bye.